they do even no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Oh yo yo, Mayegun.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun.
I got the opportunity to serve again for additional 4 years. And Nigerians will know the difference. We have got.
Thank you so much for joining me again tonight. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. And just tell them, Mayegun today.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Thank you. Share this broadcast. Tell them.
Mayegun ti dé.
Yes.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́.
Yes. I will talk. Now that the tribunal have finished their pre-hearing, which means now they have decided to go ahead into trial. But that's going to start a day after the inauguration of Kolu.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin òun.
We can go a little bit deeper on this Dangote refinery tonight.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé.
Today, good evening to you once again, good afternoon to you, and then a good morning to you from wherever you are watching from. Yes, this is Mayegun live. If you have taken your time to read the caption of the broadcast, thank you. If you have also dropped your own offering, which is like this broadcast, thank you. Now, if you have managed to share this broadcast as much as you can, oh, great. I would say, first off for you, above it all, read the description of the broadcast too. Sometimes, I just pick anything randomly to be the title of the broadcast. The real conversation is inside, especially for those who are watching live. I'm sorry if you're watching a replay, or if you're watching a premiere, which is like the cutout of this. Or if you're watching live, this is the moment you can take your time and kind of be into it. So thank you if you have done all of that. So this evening, I have so many thanks to actually send out, but I'll come back to that one, especially the brethren, the lovers of Mayegun, who have been so generous and kind in the last few days. I have something for you. However, you remember that yesterday when the court resumed, right? Even though the usual drama that pervaded the last week of this their pre-hearing, pre-hearing at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal in Abuja. The drama of Labour Party, gangsters who want to take over Labour Party are pampas. I'm talking about Lamidiot, are pampas. We've not seen that since the beginning of this week. Now, today, being the day 7 of their pre-hearing trial and all that, the tribunal came back. Well, yesterday, the argument was on should they consolidate all of the petitions, okay, together as one. I did my kind of a little understanding of that, and I made some explanation to you. It was practically the idea of if you don't want to waste time, as a lot of people actually would wish that the election petition tribunal and all these election or court cases will be completed before the swearing in of anybody that has been declared winner. Do you get that? So if you would want a sort of accelerated, trial, then they will consolidate. Consolidating means anything similar in the petitions of the petitioners, Obi and Atiku. Anything similar, like if it's about the drug case, if it's about his certificate, his educational certificate and all that, if it's about perjury and every other thing that they might have in similar, they will merge them. So which means Tinubu will respond to them at once. INEC will respond to all of them at once. But the difference is this: they are not one. Do you get that now? They are not one. They are still going to, when they are responding back to those petitions, Tinubu, APC, and INEC, they will still have to face PDP and Labour Party's lawyers in arguing those, those petitions and those accusations and all that out. Here you get. So finally, the tribunal will now rule and say, okay, after hearing all this and that, this is our ruling. So in order to save time, Obi's team were asking for at least 7 weeks for them to present all of their evidence, present all their witnesses, and then defense same. So Atiku is asking for probably about 15 weeks. Now, 7 weeks is about 2 months. 15 weeks is about 3 months or 4 months, nearly 4 months. So by the time you put all this together, right, Tinubu would have been in office for maybe 6 months already before tribunal will even say anything. So consolidating them means they can fasten them. And when they came today, they said the decision on live streaming is final. That's not going to change. And the decision on don't bring your mobile phone into the courtroom, even if you are a lawyer, senior or junior, that they lifted yesterday, they have returned it today. They said security agencies in Nigeria advised them, the judges, the tribunal, against allowing mobile phones in that courtroom. So which means everything is going to be in camera. You know what that means? You just have to rely on whatever the media dish out from that place, or you wait for their lawyers to come out and tell you what happened inside, rather than the usual way that we kind of get access and have people inside that kind of have to be back. So they are stopping all of that. If you are caught, you can get sent to prison. And they say it's because the security agents in Nigeria told them that. Right? Anyway, the court or the tribunal ruled today that they would have to. Meanwhile, even Tinubu was against consolidating the petition. Do you get that now? Like putting them together and answer them all together. APC, Tinubu, and INEC, they are against that too. So the court came back today and they ruled that they will be consolidating it. Obi and Atiku's lawyer, they agreed on consolidating their petitions for them to respond. So when petitions are consolidated like that and the whole thing is run the way it should be, right? When they will deliver judgment, they are not going to deliver judgment for Atiku, Obi, and APM at the same time. Oh, no. They will read the judgment out one by one. For you, Peter Obi, for you, Atiku, this is our ruling. For you, Obi, this is our ruling. For you, APM, this is our ruling. That's what they do. Now, to shorten that, they have reduced it to 3 weeks or say 4 weeks. So they're going to take like a whole week recess now. Now, from the 30th of May, the trial will start. So which means in 3 weeks, Atiku, Obi, and the APM or ARM guy, they would have to prove to the court that indeed the 2023 elections charade was rigged for Tinubu, and it didn't. No, at first, they are asking that he's not qualified. Then, he didn't even score the constitutionally required numbers to be declared winner of such election. So the problem now is this. INEC is also standing like they are also candidates in the charade. Are you with me? So the old documents, you remember they are saying something around, they didn't give INEC all of the, INEC didn't give Obi and Atiku all the documents for the election. Now, let me tell you the background story of that, okay? Just a reminder, right? 5 times. Before now, after that election, 5 times now, court has issued ex parte order, 5 ex parte orders or so, on INEC to release the document, including the equipment used for 2023 elections, presidential election. And 5 times, INEC received those summons, and 5 times, INEC denied them. All this while, so last week, INEC said the reason why they haven't given Obi and Atiku the document or access to the beavers was because Obi and Atiku, they refused to pay the 1.5 million naira charges for such documents. They said Tinubu paid it, and therefore they have given Tinubu all of the result, all the documents. According to them, Tinubu and co are saying that no, they haven't given us any much document too, but they are not making a fuss about it. They are not really that worried. They just believe that when INEC is ready, they will give them. So they are working together, Abi. But for Obi and Atiku, they are the ones to come and prove that the result INEC declared is wrong. In fact, allowing Tinubu to run for presidency is even against the constitution of Nigeria. That's why they are in court. So it is now left for INEC now to prove that Tinubu was fine to run for office. Then these are the figures. Now, where do you think they will find all the figures? They were expected to find the figures inside their beavers machine. You remember when they started reformatting the beavers machine before the governorship election, Abi? And they said they've saved it somewhere. Now they are saying that they've lost it. They only have the manual, the one the handwritten ones. Okay, the handwritten ones, the beavers one, anyone that is left, just bring them out. Now, they said, but you have to pay 1.5 million naira to get them. So from that same court, right, they are saying, okay, yeah, we'll pay you the 1.5 million naira. But you guarantee that you'll give us 100% of all of that document and physical inspection of the beavers machine. They say, yeah, we'll give you the documents, but we can't guarantee anything on the beavers machine because we have reconfigured it and those data are no longer available. So between last week and yesterday, the argument was about the documents that they want to use they have their own, but their own cannot be valid if they don't have the one INEC announced or the election results. So according to them, what they have now done is this. They started giving it to them in piecemeal by piecemeal. For example, INEC Abuja telling the political parties in court in Abuja, telling them that some of the data they are looking for, they are in Akwa Ibom. they will need to go and take them from Akwa Ibom and bring them to Abuja themselves. Oh, another document is currently in Sokoto. We don't have logistics to bring them to Abuja. So if you want them, you need to go to Sokoto. And when you get to Sokoto, you can bring them. So they now sending them all over the place as part of the arrangement. So today, without talking about the latest on the document or not, the court ruled that the tribunal trial that will start now, will start on the 30th of May, a day after Kolu's inauguration. And they will make their rulings by the 5th of August. So which means, who knows how to calculate well? Anyway, it doesn't matter, because 30th of May is just like a day or two to the end of May. So let's take June, 30 days in June, 31 days in July. That's 61 days plus 5 days, 66 days, 67 days. So they are saying that the entire trial will last for 67 days, starting from the 30th of May. And it's not going to end there, remember? It's still going to end up in the Supreme Court. Sure you get? But I'll let them tell you how it went in their court today. Then I can add mine, because I really want to take you to Lagos. Yeah, there's so much to say, isn't there? No, Abuja. First, let's go to the Abuja and see all the normal, paparazzi, all that around inside the courtroom. Please. So those are the lawyers for Obi, Atiku. Okay, I think these are the ones for Atiku. Or Obi himself inside that same court. Check it. Yeah. So that's inside the court, but let's hear their briefing, afterwards. Here.
7 weeks to be able to present your case. But yesterday, senior advocate our account made it 6 weeks. But now the court has narrowed it down to 3 weeks. That 3 weeks will be enough for you to present your case. And you also said that you also have to go through the papers. The 3 weeks to justice for you to present your case.
You see, the important thing is the court has a discretion to reduce the hearing, the period of hearing as presented in the Electoral Act. And that's what I've done, because if we are to be given our 7 weeks, it means that our petition will not expire. And that will not be in our own interest. So what we have to do is to do case management. Call witnesses that are very material, that will enable us establish that what INEC did is very, very unfortunate. And we believe that within the period allocated to us, we should be able to establish that. Notwithstanding that up to this moment, they are yet to give us all the documents we require. I continue to ask, why is INEC behaving in this way and manner? What are they hiding? What are they hiding? They are supposed to be neutral. But they are behaving as if INEC is a candidate in its own election. This should never be so. And that is, Nigeria is the only country where you find something like this. There's no other country. I challenge you to go and investigate and find out about the electoral bodies in other African countries. Except the only country where you find something like this. There's no other country. I challenge you to go and investigate and find out about the electoral bodies in other African countries. Except, of course, countries under military rule. That's where you may have a different situation. But in Kenya, in Malawi, South Africa, and quite a number of others, they remain neutral. But in Nigeria, you see them frustrating petitioners, preventing petitioners from having access to documents, which is so difficult to comprehend why this should be so. But they have no choice, because once we start trial, which is on May 13th, 30th May, we will serve them subpoena. And it comes with an order of court. And they will never decline bringing the documents. Otherwise, they will end themselves punishment, because that's an order of court.
There are two questions. The Labour Party managed to pay the required legal fees to obtain these documents. How do you react to that? And another question is, the tribunal has adjourned till 30th, that is after the inauguration. Supporters of the Labour Party actually hope that the inauguration have been halted. So what do you say to them not to dampen their hope until 30th?
You see, I'm confusing the people. We at no time did we say we cannot pay. We have letters. I forgot to bring it to you, gentlemen of the press, today. 5 letters we wrote them, indicating that we are ready to pay, to collect the documents. When I'm coming here some other time, I will bring the letters duly received and endorsed by INEC. Why are they telling lies to say that we couldn't pay? This is very, very, very unfortunate. What of the documents that we have collected? Didn't we pay for them? Of course we paid for them. And they gave us those ones, but refused to give us others. I give you River State, for example. Now, River State, I understand, has 23 local governments. Election took place on 25th of February. Now, except a few days ago, when they gave us 15 results. 15. They are yet to complete the results. Close to 3 months since after the election. You can find out. Why are they holding on to those results? Is it not for manipulation? Of course it's for manipulation. When they are done with manipulation, they will not release them. If they have nothing to hide, why not release all the results? Why not release them? Even 1 month after the election. Why is it so difficult for INEC to release results rather than playing one prank or the other? You know, until we get into trial, rather than playing one prank or the other. You know, until we get into trial, we are going to expose them. We will certainly expose them. And I assure you, this trial will be, the advocacy will be very robust. We will expose them. We will expose them. There's no hiding place. I assure you.
So lastly, what's the Labour Party supporters?
You see, we do not want to jump into a situation where we'll be chasing the shadow and our petition will expire. We don't want to do that. The important thing is, at the end of the day, if the court rules in favor of our petition, that somebody is right there on seat, does not mean anything. You'll be taken away from the seat. It has happened in Malawi. It has happened in Kenya. These are smaller countries than Nigeria. So I don't see why it cannot happen in our country. Because we will always get our feet wrong. That's the problem. Go back to what has been done. We are looking forward to how to prove our petition, and we believe we are going to prove it. Because if at the end of the day, I said before, the court rules that somebody who is there under the law should not be there, of course, the court will remove him. What is important is the issue of courage. And that's it.
It's going to be a long walk to freedom. What is going to take is courage. That's what he just said. That they will prove it. And even though it has never happened in Nigeria, where a president sworn in got removed by court, it has never happened in Nigeria. But it is not impossible. Sure you get? I know a lot of you are like, yeah, you know if it happen. You know, go up, you go kill court and all of that. Again, the people who are determined to challenge that are here to prove you right or wrong. Sure you get? Like history are always meant to be made and to be broken. No be so? So they believe strongly, but they know that they are fighting the entire system. At least when the lawyer said that at the right time they are going to expose the INEC, I said, what do you want to expose again? The whole thing about INEC, Mahmudu is in the public. Is he not even the one who brought Nigeria to this state? Anyway, go ahead and legally expose them, and maybe we'll have something for the diary. So, the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, is that they want you to simmer down for the next 1 week. They want Kalu's inauguration to be in the past, and the following day, when all the visitors are gone, you can continue your drama. That is exactly what they have done just now. Anyway, giving their judiciary a benefit of the doubt that some of you are giving, I'm not giving them all. On your behalf, giving them the benefit of the doubt. Let's say they intend to do the right thing or not. Baba, they said that in all of these days, that from the 30th of May, they will be sitting every day except on Sundays, whether public holiday or whether on Saturday, every day until the case is over. And according to the what's that one's name? Chief Justice of Nigeria, the man that we saw in London the other time, he sent a message by advising, right? He was advising the other justices, telling them that they must kind of rekindle the people's, hope in the judiciary. Let me see if I still have that. And I don't. Anyway, so Ariwola, that's his name, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, the man that publicly said he was so happy that the governor of his own state is one of the G5. The same G5. He is from Oyo State. He was talking about Seyi Makinde. He publicly said that. He said he was so happy that the governor of his state is among the G5 who are going to align with APC. And it worked, according to him. Anyway, he was telling them that they must remember that the whole country is looking up to them. And in that midst, Asari Dokubo, Alhaji Asari, mobilized his own people from the creeks to that same Abuja because he heard that the obedience, the Abuja residents, they are intimidating the judiciary every day with protest. And that was when those we saw yesterday that I thought were like actors or like, acting or dramatizing. They were actually people from the creeks, led by Asari himself. Asari, where are those guys? Listen.
We are here today because we have watched the dramas, the irritations, and everything that has been going on. We, the people of Nigeria, who gave our mandate freely to Ahmed Bola Tinubu had come out. We will occupy this court environment until the end of the court. We want to sound a note of warning to those who think they have monopoly of violence. They beat up people in court and they are tolerated. We want to send a note of warning to them. If you attempt anyhow, we are not gentlemen at all.
This Abuja will go past high school. We don't fight us. We are the people of Niger Delta. Tinubu now vote. We don't vote for Tinubu. Anything what they want to make them do. Tinubu be our president. We don't vote for Tinubu. We don't give up. Tinubu don't give up.
You get Abuja has been receiving guests. Abuja residents. I probably would never, I would never want to be like you right now. You know, when people will say, oh, Abuja babe, oh, Abuja boys. Something about Abuja be something that, you know, people flex about. Right now, I don't think I want to be like you. Because you see weary, Osinwe, terrorists, pickpockets, armed robbers, kidnappers, the rest of them, they are assembling the drug dealers, the drug smugglers, the drug addicts, as well as the homeless, those ones who are jobless, Almajiri imported. Abuja go receive, oh dear. You get to see a lot of them at your malls, on your streets, randomly at your children play parks and all that. You are welcome. Because according to them, when Dati made this statement, it didn't go down with them. It didn't go down well with them. Remember these statements? And it's just about how many days to now? 6 days to 6 days. Yeah? But Dati made this statement a few months back, just after the elections.
Well, violating the Constitution, let them even go ahead, even if they swear in Tinubu Shetima on 29th of May. They are swearing in an unconstitutional government. Nothing will change it. I am not a careless, reckless speaker. I am working with the Constitution there, that document, right, you just read. I'm following it. And I dare to tell you that swearing in Tinubu and Shetima is as good as swearing in the Nigerian army on 29th of May. If you swear in people that have not satisfied the requirement, you have, by so doing, ended democracy. The crisis I'm telling you now is that this, our democracy, is going to end. By the way we are going, this democracy is going to end on the 29th of May, 2023. Please write it.
Those are extreme,
you know my
those
name.
Are extreme thoughts.
I am very, very happy to say it. No, you know my name.
You know,
you introduced me.
Yeah.
Listen, don't stop me.
No, I will, because those are extreme thoughts. You know why? Because there are allowable language to be used on television, especially as it relates to our nation and the unity of this country.
Put your question and let me answer you. Put your question. I know what I'm saying.
If there is an official...
If you breach the Constitution...
But is it not left to the court to decide otherwise?
This is already decided by the courts.
But the authority in charge of election gave a declaration.
Sherwin, if you are afraid for some things, don't ask for them.
I am not afraid. I will,
now, then
I will as a citizen
Mm-hmm.
of the country, by the ethics and the guidelines of my profession, live by it.
Yes.
What is lawful? And I hope that you're a lawful citizen of the country.
Very, very
and so whatever the
lawful
stipulation of the law guides, if you are aggrieved about something, you go to the court to seek redress, isn't it?
This document is a product of the legal system. It has been signed into law by the President, Commander-in-Chief, Federal Republic of Nigeria. I believe in this document. That is why I'm so lawful. That is why I'm so confident. And that is why however extreme it is, Sheung, I am saying it on national TV. I don't like to take risks. I'm not taking.
You dey hear I just thought I should refresh your mind on that. In case if you don't understand where this paranoia is coming from. Nigeria is about to get a new president. They say they want to swear for another president. And yet, the country is so divided that it's so obvious. The government of the country is begging the citizens not to abuse their visitors who are coming for the inauguration. America sent junior secretary, junior minister in America, agriculture, not even agriculture secretary, under secretary, that is like a vice deputy secretary, like deputy minister of agriculture in America, to lead Nigerian workers and Zimbabwean staff of American embassy in Nigeria to go and attend what is supposed to be, a successful civilian to civilian transition again, and should have united the country, or rather, everything is like, hey, God, what is going to happen now? Hey, what is it going to be? Some people are not even able to display. Usually, you would have seen inauguration Ankara, inauguration cap everywhere. I know they have them all. But you can't get to a stage that those who are hawking them, they have to start hawking them like privately, not publicly, because people will begin to kind of, honestly speaking, DSS and the police, they said they have been told to start arresting people based on whatever they say about Tinubu from today. I don't know if you know that. Do you know that? All because of this inauguration. Oh. If you post anything on social media now about Tinubu, about the inauguration, they may knock at your door. Yes, if you are in Nigeria. Are you not following? Though, if you write anything about any world leaders, that you will see their video or something on that day, they can come for you. It don't start. So when that guy said democracy will be dead on the May 29, or more, rhetorical, no. Ironically, okay, you know what he's saying, But we'll get there. When they ask Asari Dokubo, I'm coming to Asario, before the election, one of the things that actually changed everything, disrupted everything, Oni, where is that Oni? Oni called him tsunami. What changed everything is that nobody, not even you watching me right now, would ever, in your wildest imagination, believe that PDP or APC, they will lose in Abuja. They will lose in Lagos. They will lose in Kano. At least, that Abuja. Not many of you watching me here will believe that PDP and APC, they will lose. Or, even if they are not going to lose, even if they are not going to win, that they will never even get up to 15% each. PDP no get 15. APC no get 15. In Abuja. Nobody saw that coming. Kaderia. What's her name again? Kaderia Ahmed. I think her name is Kaderia Ahmed. She boldly went on TV giving political analysis about this whole election she was trying to make obedience know that even if you win 25% in 24 states, because of your 1 million man march, You can't win Abuja. You can barely get 25% in Abuja self. Do you always remember that? Now, that Abuja 25% that used to be the top of conversation to demoralize you, the obedient. When they got trashed there, the story changed. But this was before the election. Kaderia, what do you think about Abuja and 25%? Please.
Yes. First, you have the highest number of votes. Again, not the majority, because sometimes people confuse that. Majority means over 50%. Highest means even if you win by one vote. It doesn't necessarily have to be 50%. Yes, it can be one vote ahead. So the highest number of votes, that's the first condition. The second condition is that you must win 25% votes across 2/3 of Nigeria's 36 states, which is 24 states, plus it is an and FCT.
You must win FCT.
You must win at least 25% in FCT.
Okay.
So even if you win those 24 states, you have 25%, but you don't get 25% in FCT, there's a problem.
Wow. But that has just been an added one. That has just been included.
That is your constitution.
That is the constitution.
That is your constitution. And I'll give you the section of the constitution so you can go and check. That's your constitution.
That's the constitution.
Yeah, that's your constitution.
Well, Emmanuel, yes. I mean, it is 87 million, right?
Yes.
That's the number.
So just for people who are watching, section, for those checking who want to go and look at it, section 134 of the 1999 constitution, which talks about second round and third round and all of that.
Section
so we could take 134.
134.
So we could technically go to a third round, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes. So if your first round doesn't produce a winner,
so first round, you are the winner. You have the most votes, and you've gotten more than 50% in.
No, first round you win outright if you get the most votes and you have your spread.
Okay, and then this.
If nobody gets it and you still have popular votes, you don't win it.
Does that apply to the second person that comes into follows you?
So the second person is decided based on whether they win majority votes in majority states, and that's over 50%.
Majority votes in majority states. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Right. So those two go to a second round. The conditions are exactly the same required of the second round. You must win majority votes and also have the spread.
But this time it's just two parties.
Yes, just two parties. If at the end of that you still don't have a winner, then you go into a third round where a simple majority will determine the president. So the requirement for spread is removed when you get to the third round.
Looking at the strength of the, let's say, the top three candidates.
Do you get that? Now, this is why the conversation around this whole thing, if he enter third round, second round, rerun. But Mumudu, Yakubu, Mr. Froster, decided to just shank everybody, and he just declared their call winner at 4 a.m. without meeting that constitutional requirement. So what they are doing right now is what Yoruba called Igboju. And at least they've declared him none. Let us move on. Let's move on, Jare. Don't let us waste time. If instead of going to a run, instead of all this wahala, let's move on. Don't let us waste money. Move on. Shall you get Igboju? Yeah, they did it wrong. They didn't do it well. But INEC is to be blamed, not me. You can't blame me. INEC declare me. Shall you get? INEC didn't say they can't declare winner. They declared me. So INEC you should blame. But in order not to waste any time, let's just move on. What do you want? I'll give you. What do you want? Let's move on. Let's, for the sake of Nigeria, lie. So that's exactly the stage you are right now. Like, we have done it. Yes, we've done it. But let's move on. It's the will of God. Maybe it's the will of God. Maybe God wants to use a drug dealer and a Boko Haram sympathizer, a religious fanatic to change Nigeria, maybe, and unite Nigeria. So you get, that's why you are being bamboozled with all of this right now. So you can take a break. I mean, like, there won't be much from the courts, at least not until Friday. The one they are waiting for right now is the one that the Supreme Court adjourned from yesterday to Friday. Friday, the 26th of May. And you know what they want to decide on that, yeah? It's simply about perjury, that Tinubu lied. He forged his certificates that is submitted to INEC. A perjury, which is sworn an oath to. Swearing an oath to a fake document is perjury. And at the same time, that should lead to disqualification. also, they are complaining. I mean, they want them disqualified for breaking the Electoral Act. The same Electoral Act that Yakubu broke himself. Oh. Yakubu broke all the Electoral Act himself. However, that's why they are in court. They want to prove that Yakubu broke all the laws. So therefore, his action is null and void. Tinubu is not president. Another person is. Whatever. Anyway, give me a break again.
Yes. First, you have the highest number of votes. Again, not the majority, because sometimes people confuse that. Majority means over 50%. Highest means even if you win by one vote. It doesn't necessarily have to be 50%. Yes, it can be one vote ahead. So the highest number of votes, that's the first condition. The second condition is that you must win 25% votes across 2/3 of Nigeria's 36 states, which is 24 states, plus it is an and FCT.
You must win FCT.
You must win at least 25% in FCT. Okay. So even if you win those 24 states, you have 25%, but you don't get 25% in FCT, there's a problem.
Wow. But that has just been an added one. That has just been included.
That is your constitution. That is the constitution. That is your constitution. And I'll give you the section of the constitution so you can go and check. That's your constitution.
That's the constitution.
Yeah, that's your constitution.
Well, Emmanuel, yes. I mean, it is 87 million, right?
Yes.
That's the number.
So just for people who are watching,
sorry, there is sorry, guys. Something I needed to quickly attend to. That happens. Anyway, so they want to prove that Kolu broke law, okay, by using fake documents as submitted to INEC. So they want him disqualified. No, not just that. They want, they are talking about double nomination too. Yeah, double nomination, breaking law. Double nomination, breaking the Electoral Act law. Double nomination where Shetima was a senatorial candidate with INEC. And he is also vice presidential candidate with the same INEC. And this lasted for like about 4 or 5 days before they changed it. Now that space and gap is what they called a closing gap that is enough to disqualify Kolu. Now these two prayers are also part of Atiku's tribunal case. But somehow, this Supreme Court's one it's like a banana peel. Do you want me to explain what that means, right? In my own, I'm not a lawyer yet, so sure you get. But I hope I'll try and be a lawyer soon anyway. So, So what that simply mean, in my own opinion, in my own legal, or should I say not so legal mind, is this. If the Supreme Court should say that decision of whether Tinubu forged certificate or not is pre-election, there are precedents. Precedents mean that they have had cases where people have been accused of a wrong nomination, blah, 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 and then they got disqualified, okay? Or the court said, well, election has taken place, so that's between the parties and INEC. They are pre-election matters, so they are no longer like relevant in few instances, okay? So if the Supreme Court comes back, hang on, before this Supreme Court case, they have been at the Federal High Court, Appeal Court or something already, that Tinubu should be disqualified. The court throw out the cases of perjury and this case of double nomination. So that's what they have taken to the Supreme Court now. So at the Supreme Court, they are asking the Supreme Court to overrule those courts and disqualify Kolu. So if the Supreme Court says it's pre-election matter, therefore it's irrelevant and is kind of failed to disqualify Kolu, that means all of the ones they put in their tribunal case, they will become worthless. I mean, I don't know. That's why I said in my own kind of layman understanding, the effect, like I said, a banana peel. Because if you put it in the tribunal case that Kolu forged his Chicago University certificate, he forged this, he forged that, he forged his birth certificate, and all of those things that are part of the petition. If the Supreme Court now rules that they are irrelevant, you know that the his own lawyers, they are just going to present the recent case and say, once they get to that part of the argument, they will just say, Atiku versus Tinubu, a Supreme Court ruling has already decided on that. It's irrelevant. Strike it out. Same thing with Obi. They will say, Atiku versus Tinubu on this issue of perjury or double nomination. Supreme Court has already ruled on it. So a banana peel. But on the other hand, if the Supreme Court says, truly, with the evidence and all that, it should never have been allowed to run at all. It should be disqualified. Now, you know, there is no other court after Supreme Court. That means Tinubu will not be inaugurated. So what are the odds? I mean, that's the question. What are the odds that the Supreme Court is going to rule, is going to overrule the appeal court or federal high court, and they're going to say Tinubu is not qualified. In fact, it should be disqualified. And once Supreme Court says that, there is no appeal. There's nowhere to go to anymore. There's nothing like I'm going to go and appeal the judge. Nothing anymore. That means all the election thing, Nigeria will be thrown into a constitutional confusion. Abi? So what are the odds that the Supreme Court will do that? 1 to 10? What are the odds between 1 to 10? 2, 3, 4, 1? I will leave you with that. So do you understand the banana peel there now? Whatever happens, if the Supreme Court rules on Friday, and gives a judgment on that, if it goes either way, it will affect whatever happens in that tribunal, in my own understanding. Somebody said, let's pray. Do you know why I ask you about the odds? And I am not telling you straight away that it's impossible. I left you. I gave you this scenario. Now I left you to be the judge. Like, what are the odds? Okay? But there are already rumors that they are trying to declare a public holiday this Friday in order to say, okay, Friday, Jumat prayer. You know, they already set the inauguration plan. So Friday, Jumat prayers for presidential inauguration. Saturday, dinner being in Abuja. On Sunday, banquet, Thanksgiving service, and all of that on Sunday. On Monday, inauguration, 29th of May. So they may declare a public holiday or they may not. So once the rumor says that they may declare it in order to allow the Supreme Court to adjourn again, sure you get, until further notice. Or the Supreme Court will come and drop the bombshell, the banana peel, the banana way Atiku shop, drop the peel, maybe the sliding tackle that is going to eventually help Tinubu out of this whole thing. I am not a lawyer. I'm just saying. Make or mar. It's now obvious that this whole thing is the system. You know, whatever is going on in Nigeria right now, it is the system versus the people. And the system also have their own people too. They do. I mean, Bokwari, a failed, lifeless mannequin, you know. And Tinubu, the Jaga Pupu. Jaga Wiwi, Jaga Pupu. Somebody loves to call him that here. Lady Abby, I got Jaga Pupu, Jaga Wiwi, Jaga Bandits, Jaga Addicts. Ashiwaju Awole. They don't like me say that some of the times. When they ask this guy, Alhaji Asari, why? He kind of believed that after Bokwari, Tinubu is going to then blah, 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 blah. And he was like, Omo, When I was sick, na Tinubu pay for my hospital bill. My first car, na Tinubu buy them for me. My children's school fees, it was Tinubu who was paying them. I said, oh, wow, clap for yourself. And people are many like that. And I bet that's more reason why a lot are actually waiting for their turn. It's a flashback or it's not recent.
We became close in 1992. In 1992, yes. And we have been close throughout the period, Atiku period, down to when he became governor to Pronaco. I've been close to Atiwaju. And when I was in detention, this man did everything for me. He paid my children's school fees. He gave house to my wife. When I came out of detention, he sponsored my medical bill abroad. My medical he sponsored my medical trip abroad. He bought my first car to Iraq when I came out of prison for me. And then later on, he sent myself and about 6 people to Hajj. So this is a man that I've been close to. And because of good luck, we parted ways on the 23rd of December 2010. We're not that close, he was not my enemy. So when he came out to contest election, it is my duty to pay him back. This is the only time I can pay back a friend who was with me in my hours of travail.
See? And there are few people like that will tell you the same in their circle. But at least, now hospital bill, then pay when he was in detention, house rent or a whole house, school fees of his children. A Southerner. Won't you wish to be a Dangote? Like, won't you kind of wish to be so lucky to be a Dangote? So that everybody can tell you how hardworking you are, how much you can save the black race and the rest of that. A quota system billionaire. Wouldn't you like to be one? Like, if I tell you the process. Okay. Even if the number of the poor people in Nigeria skyrocketed under these criminals in 8 years, numbers don't lie. I know a lot of you are on-boot slaves, sophisticated morons, ass lickers, crumb eaters, crumb chasers, all risers. I know a lot of you who are comfortable in your slavery. And then you look around and say, why don't you see anything good in this government? And all of us, theater. Numbers don't lie. Do you want me to explain that to you again? Numbers don't lie. Nigeria, under these rogues, has become like the poverty capital of the world. And you are the good example of that. All of us. You can live in denial, which is what is so convenient. Live in denial. Tell yourselves, they have built bridges, they have built canal, built road, they are now building refinery. But numbers don't lie. They destroyed you. They destroyed you, destroyed Nigeria, ruined you, ruined your psyche, and they limited you to what you have limited yourself to right now. Because without your consent, I don't think it's going to be so convenient for them to do that to you. Those you call rebels today, those who reject being kind of a coward and limited by these rogues who have no single plan for you, none for you. Or fine, it is the establishment versus the people. And the establishment have their own people too. In 2015, Nigeria was generating between 5,000 and 6,500 megawatts of electricity for 200 million people. And they said they had a prospect for